From Kiambu High School. This is the constituency tallying center for Kiambu constituency, and what is happening right now is that the returning officer in this particular station is just reading the results for some of the people who have gathered here, including the presiding officers and agents who have gathered here just to follow on the proceedings here at the Kiambu High School. And a quick look at the IEBC website, Smart rather, is that we've seen about 1,755 polling stations have already submitted their Form 34As, and that is out of a possible 2,117 polling stations that are expected to submit the forms. That's about 82% from this Kiambu County. Of course, the tallying continues in some of the polling stations that we've been through during the day. We've combed and weaved through Kiambu County about 7 constituencies. Earlier in the morning, we started in Gatundu South, headed to Mutomo, where President Uhuru Kenyatta and Mama Ngina Kenyatta voted. We came down to Kiambu constituency and headed to Kikuyu, and thereafter Kabete, Wangige, where we actually voters there reported a slow voting process, saying their process started later than they expected. In Kikuyu constituency, Smart, the member of parliament for Kikuyu constituency, Kimani Ichung'wah, alleging that there was voter bribery during the day. He actually went to the police station in Kikuyu to report on that matter, and the police there talking to us said that they are going to start quick investigations into the matter to allay any fears among the voters in regards to voter bribery. We are here at the Kiambu constituency tallying center, and what we've observed so far, even at the Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology tallying center, is that it appears Raila Odinga and William Ruto are neck to neck. For instance, at the Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, Raila has garnered 800 votes, and Ruto has garnered 825 votes. And just from the background right now, I can hear that they are also neck to neck from the results that are being announced right here at the Kiambu High School. So we are keeping tabs on that, and also remember, we'll be pitching camp at the county tallying center, that is the Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, later on. This is in regards to the races that will be announced there, the winners that will be announced. This is the gubernatorial, senatorial, woman representative that will be announced at that particular station. Here we expect that the returning officer here will be able to announce the member of county assembly and the member of national assembly elected in different wards in here in Kiambu constituency, and of course announce the member of parliament for Kiambu constituency. Aside from that, Smart, we also expect that all the presiding officers from the different polling stations will be heading back here with the Form 34A. Remember, this is the primary result form. This is where the results from the different polling stations is actually written down, registered voters, the votes cast in that polling station. If there are votes that have been rejected, they are all written down there, and the agents get to sign this particular document. Agents representing the different presidential candidates, they get to sign this particular document, excuse me. And from here, the returning officers will be heading back to Nairobi with these forms in order to collate the Form 34A and the Form 34B. This is actually quite an interesting process. Why? Because the voting process ends where it starts. You will remember that we had the dispatch of voting materials from Nairobi down to the grassroots level. The voting process is over, and now the voting material has to be carried back to Nairobi to verify the results in order to announce the results as per what has been voted by the voters and the electorate in the grassroots level. I'm just wondering if I could get a moment here with the returning officer just to bring us up to speed as I work on that. Another update I'd like to give you is that here in Kiambu County, we are looking at one of the most interesting races as far as the gubernatorial race is concerned. Just to mention interesting names in this particular race, we have Governor James Nyoro, who's the sitting governor, seeking to retain his seat on a Jubilee Party ticket. William Kabogo of the Tujibebe wa Kenya Party, who's seeking to succeed him. And we also have Moses Kuri of the Chama cha Kazi, who's also seeking to succeed Governor James Nyoro. We also have Patrick Wainaina, alias Jungle, who's vying on an independent ticket, Mwende Gatafaki, who's also vying on an independent party ticket, and not forgetting the UDA candidate for the gubernatorial seat here in Kiambu County, that is Kimani Wamatangi, who's also angling to succeed Governor James Nyoro. This is one of the interesting races in the country. Kiambu County has about 1,250,000 registered voters, 2,117 polling stations. Here in Kiambu constituency, we have about 144 polling stations and about one polling station set aside for the prisoners to vote. We didn't quite get a chance to look at that, but we saw in some of the polling stations, we saw the elderly being allowed to vote first, and we also saw some of the people who are actually being helped to vote. We talked to a number of them. Some of them had actually come from hospital just to vote and go back. And in the morning, we also saw an elderly lady in Gatundu South who spoke to us. She has voted from the year 1978, and she was calling upon the youth to actually take their civic responsibility quite seriously, saying this is the moment for them to actually vote in and make a decision that will matter for the next 5 years in regards to their lives, and of course the leadership that they want to lead them. Of course, we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta also voting earlier in Gatundu South, and I can see the returning officer just making her way here. Allow me just a few minutes to speak to her. Thank you so much for joining us on NTV. Perhaps if you could just start with your name, tell us what exercise we expect here tonight.
My name is Beatrice Sakimuli, and I'm the returning officer for Kiambu constituency, and this is our tallying center where we are collecting and tallying results from the 144 polling stations in this constituency, and then we also have one polling station in the prisons. So in total we have 145.
Yes. And what do we expect to see here? This is where it was the center of dispatch, and now do we have all voting materials coming back here, and what will the activity that will be taking part after they arrive here?
Now the presiding officers are in the polling stations, and as we can see from the background, we are here ready waiting for the results. So far we have received results from 2 polling stations. We have received from the prisons, Kiambu Prisons polling station, and we have received from Mushiri Primary School. So we are now waiting for the presiding officers to bring their results once they conclude with the counting process in the polling stations. Therefore, we'll be able to tally, and then we'll be able to declare winners for the position of the member of National Assembly and for the member of County Assembly.
For the benefit of the viewer back at home, just explain to us, dissect to us why Form 34A is very important in declaring the presidential results.
Now, Form 34A is a result declaration form where the presiding officer at the polling station indicates the votes that are garnered by the presidential candidates. And why we are saying the form is important, because the results that are captured at the polling station are final. And just like the other elective positions, the results captured in the polling station are final. And therefore, even the national chairman, who is our chairman of the commission, Mr. Chebukati, will be declaring results from the Form 34A. It is therefore a very important form. And as everybody has seen today, is that the presiding officers are transmitting that form from the polling station. And once they transmit, the form is hitting the National Tallying Center at Bomas, and again the constituency tallying center and the website portal. It is therefore a very important form.
Thank you so much. And of course, Kenyans across the country are following up on the portal to also get it straight from the IBC portal, even as the results trickle in, the Form 34As trickle in there as in real time, actually, smart. And of course, we are also keeping tabs on that. Everything that is happening here in Kiambu County, we are your ears and eyes on the ground. Smart.
All right, Melita, thank you very much. Just one quick question. We've seen updates on social media of Moses Kuria actually conceding the results in Kiambu. Do we have any update from that? Have you heard from him?
Well, actually, Smart, we've also just seen that particular update from Moses Kuria. We are trying to reach him to get a statement in regards to that. Of course, we'll be bringing our viewers up to speed as we get that particular statement. We don't want to assume that